How to start an email marketing campaign. All right, I love this topic. It's one of my favorite ways to make money, and it's honestly one of the true ways you can make money while you sleep. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I do it and how the copy that you write really matters and how you close people. Let's dive in. Shortly after I left my job and started going and selling on the internet, I decided that I would look at the top converting webinars from Russell Brunson and see what the follow-up email sequence said. And I know that's why you're here. So what I did is I started printing out every single one of the 5 sequences, and I printed them out all across my office floor. It was a lot. These email sequences were long, and what I did is side by side spent several days comparing the copy, what was written, in every single email. And I started noticing very quickly that across 5 very different products follow-up sequences, there were some strong patterns. And so what I did is I made a master copy of this sequence. And I went back and it's honestly the 5 same email sequence that I use in almost every single product that I put out there. It's been so powerful. I was hacking Russell Brunson, right? It's so powerful that most of my money comes from that 5-day email sequence. That's what I'm gonna walk through. Is that enough of a setup? Get a piece of paper and a pencil. I'm gonna give you some specifics. All right, very, very simple. I'm not gonna walk through all little details here. This isn't the platform for me to do that on. But I'm gonna show you most of my cash whenever I sell on the internet comes from the same 5-part email sequence. Again, so go ahead and grab a piece of paper. Now let's dive in. Okay, so the scenario is this. You've gone out, you've done a launch, you pushed out your product, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You put all this work out there and sales aren't that high. What do? Stings. It's one of the biggest stings of my entire life, right? We've all been there. Every one of us has been there. The greats of the greats, we've all been there. What do? Okay, you're gonna email. You're gonna send out an email, you're gonna send out social posts, you're gonna do all kinds of communication trying to boost sales, right? But what do you put out? Copy matters like crazy. It's funny when people don't think it matters. They're the easiest people to influence, all right? Copy matters a lot. So the first email in this 5-part email series is this. Number 1, what we wanna do is we want to offer your offer. The very first email. So think about this. If I just went and did a webinar, most people email that the replay's ready. Replay's ready in case you missed the webinar. Nope. One of the strongest patterns across Russell Brunson's top converting webinar follow-up sequences was the first email was not about the actual replay. Instead, the first email went directly to the offer. He literally just puts the offer in the email as if that's the webinar. Very fascinating and one of the biggest hacks ever. So that's what I started doing. At the very first of every single one of my follow-up sequences, the 5-part follow-up email sequence, I don't push to a replay. I don't push back to the sales page. I literally just say, hey, maybe you watched it, maybe you didn't. Regardless, here's the offer. I can't tell you how many sales we get from that. That has made probably $1 million for us in the last 3 years. Just that little trick right there, you're welcome. The second email that I put out is very, very simple, but it is actually what you probably assume. We send the sales message. Okay, sending the sales message, which usually the best way to do it is video. That's what I found. Because if someone doesn't know how to read or they don't feel comfortable reading or they don't want to read, it means they don't have to read. We just send out a video of the sales message, and that usually is sent out, what I've noticed to be about 12 hours after the first email. So about 12 hours after the first email, we send the next one. 12 hours later, we send the next one, and that is the email that basically says, hey, here's the sales message, or if it was a webinar, here's the replay, or if it was some kind of other piece of marketing material, we basically send them the link to the sales, whatever it is, sales page, sales videos. And I'm hoping that what you choose to do is do some kind of video. It's not that other platforms don't work. It's not that you shouldn't. All of them work, but I have just found personally that video is the one that does the most in sales when I send out email to like that. All right, guys, now this third email is the one that people mess up the most on and might be the most guesswork on your part if you're just starting out. Because what I do is email number 3 is I need to answer objections. Okay, so I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna answer objections. What I'm doing here is, let's say someone came through and they're like, hey, I looked at your offer email and I didn't buy, right? I looked at your offer email and I'm like, nope. Then I went to the sales message and I'm like, I don't know if I should get it, but still, nope. What I'm trying to do in email number 3 is I'm trying to say, what is the thing that's holding them back, right? And I think of it up in a couple categories. I wanna find out what's keeping them back about the product, what's keeping them back in their ability, and what's keeping back in their resources. Those are the 3 different categories. It's called several things. I call it product, abilities, resources. It's also been called vehicle, internal, external. Okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find story that I can put in the email that addresses those three. And in effect, what I'm doing is selling in the email, but I'm using story to do it in the email. So it's pretty natural the way it ends up happening. We end up saying, okay, here's the offer. Then here is the replay to the sales material. Oh, you guys still haven't bought yet? Here's a whole bunch of stories to help break and rebuild your beliefs, whole bunch of stories to answer the objections, and we just give a call to action back for them to go buy again. That piece right there, really huge. I usually see a boost in sales at that email right there. That's a great one. Before I go into the last two pieces, I moved forward here to please beg you to subscribe. It's not hard. It's a big red rectangle. It says subscribe. There's the abbreviation subs. All right, click the bell, and then down below, let me know what you've done to boost your email conversions. Actually, if everyone does that, it'd be cool. We can get a lot of hacks down below. Press the subscribe button. Please, I'm begging you. We do a lot of stuff for these videos, all right? I'm giving you way more than people give you in their paid courses. Email number 4 in my most popular 5-part sequence is one of the ones that usually takes a little bit of footwork, but will pay you dividends, guys. It's so huge. Don't skip this one. This one I find people skip a lot because they're like, oh crap, I don't have that. It's very simple. I'm just gonna write it right here. And I don't know whatever your industry is down or against when it comes to testimonials. Some industries don't like testimonials. Testimonials, one of the biggest hacks to the game. All right, so what I like to do is basically it's a page with the subject line is basically what others are saying. That's like the subject line or something close to that. Here's what others said about this product. So when they open up the email, I take screenshots of the person saying it. I make the link go to a video of them saying it, like, oh, Steve Larsen's thing was awesome. This is one of the easiest things to increase your sales. But sometimes if you're brand new and you're like, Steve, I don't have testimonials though. I'm just barely beginning this game. No one has a testimonial. That's fine. Then who's telling the stories? You are. And who are they about? You. Tell your own stories. Just find more ways to tell stories of your products that will help break and rebuild more of their objections. That's all this piece is. This one right here though, guys, is massively powerful because you now are no longer the only salesperson for your product. Massive, massive hack right there and should increase the sales from your email campaign. All right, guys, this is one of my favorite ones because usually this is the one that makes the most money. All we do is we send out an email that is based on scarcity/urgency. That's it. The whole campaign, scarcity/urgency. Number 5 right there is key. Can I just show you guys one of the piece with this? You have to understand that most sales come in 2 places. Let's say that you build up all this pressure and you're so excited, oh my gosh, huge amount of sales coming at the very beginning. And then there's email 2, 3, 4, there's usually nothing. And then as you begin to close cart, okay, always close cart. Even if you have an info product, find a way to close cart, right? It's no longer available after this certain time. You'll find that as, it's so funny to watch, like 3 hours ahead, I'll send out this final email. 3 hours before cart closes, oh my gosh, 3 hours before, a lot of sales. 2 hours before, a lot of sales. 1 hour before, a lot of sales. Oh my gosh, I usually will double it. However many sales I got on open, I usually can double it with the sales on the end because of this, because I close cart. And I'm very open about that. And I'm telling you, make legitimate reasons on why your cart is closing too, by the way. I hate that about some things in our industry, okay? Make legitimate reasons, but this is one of the biggest secrets to it. In fact, sometimes I'll send this same email like 3 times. It's like, oh, Steve, but I'm gonna annoy them. If they don't buy from you then, there's a chance they may never. And so I can afford to annoy them, but you're not annoying them. You're just afraid that you're being annoying, okay? I can remind them a final time, go check it out, okay? Go check it out, go buy it. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have an email go out 4 hours before it closes, 3 hours, and then I'll have the final email 1 hour before. And don't think that you're annoying them. That is a final reminder. And if you're serious about that, which I hope that you are, find legitimate ways that you're actually closing cart, right? Real scarcity and urgency. What ends up happening is you get that big last boost of sales. So I will email 3 times, a lot of times. I mean, Frank Kern, I found out, emails 6 times on the last day that his thing's available. That's a lot. So don't be ashamed of the fact that you're selling. Don't try and don't feel weird about closing cart or being a salesperson. Doing this usually doubles sales, especially if you do it right. And I'll tell you that this whole sequence right here, this has made me more cash than my actual pitch. A lot of times if I go out and I pitch, I'll have a few sales. It's the follow-up. Fortune is in the follow-up, and this is how I follow up after I do a big pitch. Hey guys, I got a free presentation for you that definitely involves email strategy and how we've actually made so much cash with this. There are 3 different campaigns that have really made the most money for us, and I teach you about it. Go to internetlaunchsecrets.com. The link is in the description. Internetlaunchsecrets.com shows you how the top 3 campaigns have made us cash, and all of it certainly involves email. I know you'll love it. I'll see you there.